All right, welcome back to more Absolute Wonder Woman. So, to recap what happened last time, also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going over more cool stuff on the channel, new mainline, DC, Marvel, etc. But going back, to recap what happened last time, Wonder Woman got captured by Veronica Cale and went back to hell. She was sucked back because of Hades' deal and goes to the Wild Isle, but leaves Barbara behind and is at risk of getting turned into the cheetah. So with all that, let's hop in, because it's been a minute since we visited Absolute Wonder Woman. We're behind on a couple issues. We find Diana in the Wild Isle, laying on the floor. Mother would lecture me for burying them. It is not our way. She's right. But I find I can't bear the idea of turning their tiny, charred bodies into ingredients for supernatural weapons, and buries them in good faith. As she lifts up a tree, grabs the little root, and says, "Hello, little friend. I'm glad to see you." It's a little iguana, a little hell creature that she gives a little twig to. "You cannot stay here. It is no longer safe for you." And notice the tiredness on Wonder Woman's eyes. I mean, she's in misery right now. And not physical misery, more of an emotional. In her mind, she abandoned all of her friends and came down here. She knew the deal was that she'd have to be down here for a month every year, but did not know that this would happen so soon, and that's because of what Persephone did last issue. Talking to her husband, she said, "Hey, like, you want to help me out? I don't want to hate you. You don't want to hate me. We want to be friends. Save Diana." And that really angered Diana. She doesn't know about it, but knowing that she's teleported down here really freaks her out, especially leaving Barbara behind. But she leaves the iguana. Tell everyone the Wild Isle is no longer safe for the friends of Diana. What does that mean? My mother is missing or dead, but she was alive when she was dragged from our burning home. And as expected, it looks like she put up quite a fight and tells her mother, "I'm coming." So upon her return to the Wild Isle, she notices that one, her mom, Circe, gone. Somebody took her, burned down all of her stuff. The Wild Isle is not safe for anybody, especially not Diana. The gods are against her, which is a real switch up from what we last saw in the Wild Isle. None of this was ever there. But we go back to mainland with soldiers, Veronica Cale's soldiers, going to find the Huron. But seemingly there is enchantments in the forest, as there would be. I mean, she's a genius. Wonder Woman is not just going to leave her home unguarded. And the enchantment's not even a bad one, like a physically bad. Just makes them vomit, nauseous. This is Field Team 1 making our approach. Confirmation of intel that some kind of pharmacological or perhaps magical defenses exist around the target. Agents begin to suffer effects a mile out, increasing in intensity as we approach. With our... Dude, come on, Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor's there. Hello, gentlemen. Having trouble keeping your breakfast down? As he just stares at the glow group, drinking his morning coffee in his sandals, joggers, or not his joggers, I'm sorry, his shorts, crew neck, they all dadded out. Tells him, "I'm afraid you guys can't come up here. You're going to need a warrant. I'm going to ask you guys to leave." And the lady next to him is his lawyer, which is crazy. They really thought of everything. And so what does the team do? Well, they go back to base. They seem to be retreating. Yet, that they do. Looks like it, man. We meet with Gia at Candy Investigations. And we learned that 3 days ago was the fight of Wonder Woman and the Iron Maiden. And her capture has everybody wondering where she's at. An incredibly active hero since her arrival, both locally and around the world, it's rare to not see any sign of Wonder Woman within a 24-hour period. Those not so concerned with her whereabouts even glad the hero is missing, though Wonder Woman remains a wildly popular fixture in Gateway City, typically polling high. Her last approval numbers were a shocking 91%. That 9% is becoming more vocal and possibly growing, though. That's in dispute of this reporter's opinion. So Gia and Etta talk. Have you seen anything? Know anything that's going on? The news isn't helpful. With Etta saying a little remark, what does Hecate say? We saw in the last couple of issues of Gia making a Hecate Coven circle in order to protect everybody in Gateway City. We talked about this. There was no way Diana being in our lives wasn't going to develop what I was doing magically, but it seems like she's spiraling, just like it was also going to change you, with a board full of people seemingly in covens. So Etta just tells her, "You know what? Just be careful, Gia. It's okay." Where we learn that Etta is also going to Gotham City. Seemingly she's moving out over this disagreement, or she's going to go find help and join Absolute Batman. I highly doubt she's actually joining Absolute Batman. That'd be so random. Try not to die in Gotham and tell Batman I said hi if you see him. Which leads us to our next character. In Area 41, Barbara. She was captured by Giganta in the last battle and taken here with the body of the last cheetah in an attempt to get her to turn over. Don't you wonder why the body is still here and why it doesn't smell worse? One of the voices is talking to her, the god that inhabits cheetah. Who's there? They want you to be their new cheetah, but they don't know how it works. Not really. It's different for everyone, you know. What worked or didn't for Priscilla will be different for you, Barbara, if you choose. You have to choose to be this cheetah, to be taken by the god, whose name is Kartaga. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. I'm an ancient god. I know you. And remember, all of Barbara's history is so advanced. I mean, she's a doctor for these kinds of studies, especially Greek and mythological stuff. You're Dr. Barbara Ann Minerva. You're a plant god. Origins in African lore. I've never been wild about plant god, but yes. But your wife. She's the cheetah. Wife is dramatic. I prefer consort. It is rare to speak with someone of your intellect, Barbara. Your pursuit of knowledge, even that which does not wish to be known, coupled with your exposure to magic, science, and the supernatural, has left you nearly a perfect specimen. And Barbara knows the deal. For possession. You want me to become the next cheetah so you can withhold me, take hold of me, use me. No. For partnership. I'm glad that we can skip the phase where people think they're going insane. It's tedious. But you're also talking to somebody who's not stupid. Barbara, again, genius right now. And she knows all of the tricks, the ploys of gods. I don't think complaining about the ones that came before is the way to go here, if you're trying to convince me. You are magnificent, Barbara. I'd be grateful to Cale for delivering you to me, if I didn't already hate her with every sliver of my consciousness. Finally, common ground. At least they both agree on this. And Barbara makes her own assumptions, goes up to the body. The body hasn't decomposed. It's not going bad. We've been in here for a while. It's the blood, isn't it? What are you doing? I can't trust you with any answers that you give me. I have to see it for myself, which the blood is still wet. That is bizarre. I've been in here 3 days, and she tastes the blood, which gives her a magical side effect. Because we go to Ibiza 2 years ago with Priscilla. This is her in the red hair. The cheetah is my spirit animal. Think about it, Chelsea. Like I'm fast, but I give up so easily. And like that's the same as a cheetah. They're so fast and can only go for short bursts. I relate to that so hard. If I don't get my way, then like I give up. I pray that people are not like this. What do you mean? This is terrible. That's a terrible way of thinking. Do not do that. Overcome your goals. Be a Green Lantern, in my opinion. It's just so me, Chelsea. Am I right? Totally right, Pris. And some time has seemingly passed in this last panel, because Priscilla is acting totally different, asking for raw meat. Cale, you will help my daughter with this possession thing, or you will find yourself defunded. Cale is tasked with helping her. You know what? That's no threats necessary. I only want what's best for your daughter. We will help her. And Cale takes her. Priscilla, we spent nearly a year and we're no closer to knowing what this is. Without knowing what's possessing you, if that is indeed what's happening, we can't research it or communicate with it. We are nowhere. And I want you to know, I would work on this forever with no results, but I see the pain you're in, and I think it might be time for something radical. Cale's gonna take this to the extreme. I mean, that's Cale. We speculated from early on that something went wrong in whatever happened to you. Perhaps it was interrupted, and that's part of the reason you're in such agony. Split between 2 worlds because you weren't able to finish becoming. The simplest answer might be to just stop fighting it. You suggest I become more of a monster? No. I suggest you finish becoming whatever you are on your way to. Perhaps it will be magnificent. So she throws her in a cage. You wouldn't quite become what we thought you did, would you, if I didn't do this? Seemingly, it does speed up the process, and it works, turning her fully into a cheetah, into a monster. With Priscilla seemingly controlling this memory thing and her blood, telling her this is what happened. I tell you not to do it, but you're pretty well fucked if Cale's already got you. Trading one prison for another isn't exactly a sound strategy. It ate me up, but I wasn't prepared. You're smart, focused, maybe you could do better. You're Barbara Ann Minerva. You're a genius. You could probably outthink this god. Use this for good. Unlikely. Don't beat yourself up, Priscilla. There's always a monkey's paw effect with all these old gods. It's not on you, Priscilla. This whole thing, it's a god trick. You were tricked. Humans never do well with dealing with gods. So Priscilla ends with some last words. Hopefully, your super-powered Amazon princess Looked pretty impressive. Maybe she'll come save you. Where we meet with our Amazon princess in the underworld, still after her mother trying to find her. My thoughts are dark and dangerous. They spin a lot of things, but they always come back to my lost friends, and my mother and Barbara not yet lost. Both are suffering, simply for the sin of knowing me. Barbara is beyond my ability to aid. For now, my mother's fate is in my hands. Most creatures have learned the hard way not to cross my mother, and if you try and miss, you'll likely end up a pig. She holds an excellent grudge, so even if you escape it, it is not for long. My most likely suspects for this crime is the Manticore, Harpy, Scylla, Charybdis, Echidna. But yet I see no sign of Circe here. But we're gonna find out if it's the Manticore, because that's where she's at. The Manticore's reign, as spikes come shivering into her arm. And she's able to block it. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Throws her axe at the Manticore, runs in, and then picks up those spikes that was shot and uses magic on them to throw them back at the Manticore. I see you, witch princess, stomping around my feeding grounds with your stupid human feet and all your sorcery smells. The Manticore is immune to its own venom, of course, but there it will still injure. Plus, it will piss it off. The magic she uses throws the spikes back at the Manticore, hitting it in the eye. Manticore, if you have my mother, release her and we can both live to see tomorrow. On my hunting grounds, making demands of me, witches are so arrogant. And what if I did eat the witch? It would be no more than she deserved. That is neither a yes or a no. Using her lasso, she wraps around the neck of the Manticore. There's an easy answer here that lets you walk free, and a hard answer that ends in your death. So choose wisely. Slowly closing the grip of the lasso around the neck. The Manticore is nearly impossible to kill, but I think today I could get it done. But I don't have to kill it. Submission will do. Though submission also comes with pain. The Manticore speaks. I have not seen your mother. Free me. I find I want the pain for it, which is unlike me. She's becoming bitter. Or maybe I want the pain for me? It seems a better alternative than the maw of empty nothingness inside. And getting kicked off, the Manticore bites Diana on the arm. So she picks it up and tosses it to the side. It speaks truth. My mother is not here. And pulling out a magic ball, she gives the spell sleep. I'd rather think of an excellent idea and tells it to do something when it awakes. And then throws it at the Manticore. After this offense, I will eat both of you. And then it falls asleep. We will see Scylla. So further on the journey, she climbs up the mountains. I hate these cliffs. I've hated them since I was 6. Flying would be ideal here, of course, but I'm close enough to Scylla that anything visible will simply be snatched out of the sky. And so she sets up camp until daylight comes. I must wait until she sleeps. First, light. So I choose a small plateau facing the open sea, hidden from Scylla's view, and settle in. I'd rather fight the Manticore again than be left with my own thoughts. Diana is still beating herself up about everything that's been happening to her, leaving Barbara, her mother gone. You tell yourself you know if they were dead. You feel it. It's just something that clings to you, like everything else. I chose to be grateful for it now, but there's a hatred in my heart that is dangerous. When Hecate and the others chose Circe for my mother, they were thinking they wanted to build a weapon, and a brilliant, willful sorceress prone to revenge seemed a strong choice. They may come to regret that choice. For I am my mother's daughter. Did you do this? Were you behind Circe's abduction? And the goddess reveals herself. Yes, I did. Because you needed me focused, busy, not making trouble, not breaking your rules. Yes. I will never forgive you for this if she dies, Hecate. To which the answer is Circe or Barbara. And that's a big reveal right here. She's behind both of them. If she answered yes to, are you behind all of this? And didn't understand if she's talking about Circe or Barbara's death, she's behind both. And Diana's response is, I will hold you responsible for both of their deaths. So with that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as we end the video here and see more Absolute Wonder Woman soon. Because next issue, we're going to have to save Circe or Barbara. Peace out.